Welcome to the Ignite Christian Business Podcast. Today's episode is a session release from the Ignite Christian Business Conference, Ignite 22. Let's get started with guest speaker, Theresa Bradley.
Well, I want to start off, first talking to you about what I do. And first slide, please. And I think that the forefront of everything that you do should be the word. That's why I have Proverbs 3, 5, and 6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and do not lean on your own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him and he shall direct thy paths. So what does that mean? That means that everything you do, the clients that you meet, when you bring them in, however you do your business, ask the Lord to be your GPS. How many have a GPS that they use on a daily basis? Or a weekly basis, a regular one, right? So if you think about God being your GPS, he's gonna tell you even when the roadblocks are there, and when the GPS doesn't always tell you that, the Lord would tell you about that. And what I'm thankful for is he's been my lead and my guide through all this time. Next slide, please. Who are we created to be? So my real initials are DB. You're like, what does that mean? So my fun name is Denise Booyer because I'm Desiree's chocolate sister. I had to make y'all laugh, right? So my real name is Theresa Bradley, but I love Desiree. She's a phenomenal woman, and I'm excited to be in her life. But my motto is I rise by lifting others. And one person that makes sure I'm lifted all the time is my husband of 28 years. He is a phenomenal man, and I always say that he's my biggest cheerleader, and he makes sure I shine in so many things, but I shine because of him, and I thank you for it. I love you so much. I'm thankful for my children. We have three beautiful children. I feel like I'm on Wheel of Fortune. My amazing husband and my three wonderful children. But so we have our oldest is 24, our son. Then we have our daughter who's 23, and then our little dude is 14, and he's here tonight. He's like, thanks, Mom. So I've been a cosmetologist for 28 years. I absolutely love that. And as you heard, it's taken me through different venues in my life and just kind of different genres. I can go here and there. My daughter finished beauty school, and I told her the beautiful thing about being a cosmetologist is you get to a license to change individuals' lives. And I say that because whether they're having a wedding, whether they're giving birth to a child, whether it's graduation, vacation, basically, if they're going through a new beginning in their chapter of their life, you get a chance to be a part of it. When they look at those pictures for the next 20 years, you're the one that was a part of their lives. And so I talk about that, and whatever passion you have for your business, make sure you remember that, no, this is not just these people are coming to my office. No, you get a chance to be a part of their lives. So that's what I think is so important. And the foster care families that I've had a chance to teach the classes at, I love that because you have these children that are coming into the families and it's like a foreign language. So that's why I titled my DVD, Speaking the Curly Hair Language, because speaking a foreign language it's something you have to learn. Well, when you're dealing with curly hair and you've grown up with straight hair, that's a whole nother language sometime. You know what I'm saying? So that's where I come in at and teach them how to do, so that helps with their self-esteem, all of that. So I also think about, with my career, I get a chance to even be with people at the end of their lives or at the end of their, memory, if their memory fades. I have a lady, a fun story, my vanilla grandma, y'all might be wondering why is that up there. So I have a lady that I did for 12 years, and she would come at the end of her life before she passed away, her memory started to fade. She would come around the corner and she would go, I get to see you today. And her husband would just have tears because there was a few times that she didn't remember a lot, but she got excited when she came to the salon. Then at the end of her life, I was able to go, her husband, I would call him and keep checking on her. And I went and sat by her bedside and she just rubbed my face and she said, I don't remember you, but I know that I love you. Oh, my heart. Tears just rolled down my face. And then talking about, how we're in each other's lives for a reason, that to me is everything. Because when God is the common denominator, love is what's there. And that to me is so powerful. And so I love that story because it speaks volumes. Next slide, please. So, how many of you have heard of Ikigai? Very few. So Ikigai is a Japanese term that talks about what drives your passion and your purpose. Say it with me, Ikigai. Okay, next slide, please. I'm gonna explain it to you more. So it's having a sense of purpose, feeling motivated. Like I said, it's a Japanese term. A feeling of accomplishment and fulfillment that follows when people pursue their passions. So the reason I'm talking about passion today and pursuit of passion is for the simple fact that if you don't have a passion behind what you do, people will know that. You know, when you're talking about your business, well, this is what I do, you know. Well, when you talk about your business with a passion and you're feeling motivated about it, you're gonna let others feel motivated. You see what I'm saying? So as I stated before, I've been doing hair 28 years, and I chose then not to be a kitchen-tician, as they call them, and I chose then not to be a hairstylist who walked around with her hair never done. They always say sometimes a painter's house is never painted and a hairdresser's hair is never done. That would never be me, okay? And so, I said, I don't plan on painting no walls, but I do plan on looking at some good hair, okay? And so, next slide, please. So this one says, be the best at what you do. And I based off of John 3:30, he must become greater, so I must become less. So I say it all the time, I must decrease so he can increase. There's nothing that we do that we don't put God first. And there's nothing that I do in my career or with my family, anything that I do that I don't put God first. You have to stay the best at what you do. I heard this from a millionaire, and he told me, he said, Theresa, if you don't believe you are the best, no one else will. I said, well, if you got a whole lot of zeros in your account, I'm gonna listen to you, okay? And so he said that he had to learn that you have to be the best and you have to show others and know, yes, there are people out there doing the same exact thing. They asked me that before, and they say, you know, what are you gonna do that's gonna set you apart? And I said, you know what? I chose that a long time ago to be the best at what I do. All right, next slide, please. This is an awesome thing because this was a walk-in to CEO. I had a client who came in as a walk-in with this type of hat on, and she came in with a sundress, you know, and looking all down, and I did her hair, gave her a new look. I got a letter in the mail about 3 days later, and she said, thank you for giving my new look. I would have had no idea when she walked in. That's why you don't judge a book by its cover, who she was. So she said, thank you for giving me my new look. You have changed my life, and I want to invite you and your family to my hotel. She was the CEO of the hotel, and I did not know that, but I'm glad I didn't assess her by how she walked in the door. Okay, now as I finish my last two slides, I want you to look and listen. This next slide. Happy is the man who finds wisdom, and the man who gains understanding. That's Proverbs 3:13. And this jazz song that is playing is a hymnal, I Must Tell Jesus. Okay, next slide, please. My last one is live beautifully and dream passionately. Like I said before, I'm Theresa Bradley with Lady Bradley Salon. There's my information, and thank you for letting me speak to you.
We want you to be ignited. We'd love for you to join us on the next Ignite community call. These happen live on Zoom on the second Tuesday of every month at 1 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Central Standard Time. We host a special guest who shares their wisdom and encounters with God over the time that they have followed God in their business. Registration is entirely free, but it is required due to limited spaces. You can register and learn more at ignite-cb.com.